What's up, Leafs fans? Welcome to Leafs Digest. Here we are breaking down Game 2 of the regular season. Toronto Maple Leafs dropping this one 3-2 to the Ottawa Senators, coming off of a back-to-back, traveling during the day to get to Ottawa to play the Senators at home in their opening night tonight. Man, we have goals from Jason Spezza, William Nylander. Nylander scoring in back-to-back games. But let's start with the very beginning, the story that has been consistent through the first two games here, and it is something Josh and I brought up in the post-game reaction last night, and it is Mike Babcock's favorite term that he brought here all the time. It was something he said so often, it was made a joke of, it was made a mockery of by the fans, by the media, by people around the NHL, as something he said so often you almost couldn't even take it true anymore, and that was his statement of, "You gotta start on time." What a bogus statement it was every time he said it. And every time he said it, we just laughed and we said, oh, what? Here comes Babcock. He's going to say his typical, "we got to start on time" statement. That's exactly what needs to happen through these first two games. The fact that we got out of the game last night with what we did, beating the Montreal Canadiens and slipping away and sneaking away from that first period where we were brutal, like beyond brutal and so bad. The Habs rolling over us in that first period last night, and then Jack Campbell having to hold us through just to get to the second period. We saw that happen again tonight against the Ottawa Senators, and personally, I believe the Senators are probably a bit of a lesser team than what the Montreal Canadiens are. I think the Habs have more veteran experience. They obviously went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. They've got a ton of guys around there who make that team better. So the fact that we actually ended up slipping away from the Habs last night and having it happen to us tonight against the Senators, I think is a very telltale thing that maybe just the Habs didn't have their best game last night, and maybe Jack Campbell stood on his head a whole lot more than we even realized that he did. But then once last night we got into the second period, this team kicked it up a notch. They failed to do that tonight. Peter Mrazek, I got to say this is a tough night for Mrazek. Like, we have 23 saves, 3 goals against. He gets the loss in this game. He has a .885 save percentage, and he has to leave after the second period with an injury. And the toughest thing for this guy, Mrazek, in his first game, his first debut of a regular season game with the Toronto Maple Leafs, is that, yeah, it's a tough first period, but like, you look at the goals, the first one, kind of an unfortunate bounce to where it gets to the position of being like a backdoor spot for him. He can't really get to it. He probably shouldn't have played the puck the way he did, trying to direct it into the corner initially. Regardless, still ends up recovering, getting in front of the puck, and then it just goes backdoor, goal against. Next one, double deflection on a penalty kill. Hits Hall, hits Tyler Ennis in front, deflects in. Honestly, what can you say about it there? The last one is a bad play by the Leafs at the blue line. Can't get the puck out. Ends up deflecting off Nick Ritchie to a one-timer to Alex Formenton on the other side and just beats Peter Mrazek. Maybe he looks at this one in film and says, I should have had that one. But in the moment, I honestly can't look at this one, especially as a fan, and say too much about, oh, that should have been a save. What I will harp on, though, on this team, it's going to be something that I touch on every time it happens this year, and I brought it up in the preseason because it happened to us then, and it's that goals in the final minutes of periods, they are killers. It doesn't matter if we're leading, we're losing, we're tied, the game gets tied. I don't care what the situation is. We could be up 10-0. If the other team scores with a minute or less left in the period, you can't be happy with that because you got to play through to the final buzzer and you can't allow those goals. That final minute should just be ultra lockdown mode. Especially if it's the first or the second period. Like, at that point, you're just get to the end of this period because the other team goes into the locker room with momentum there. And I'm going to jump on that every single time it happens. I think that's garbage. 1.4 seconds left in the period and you allow them to score a goal like that. It is a dagger. It is a heartbreaker to see that happen. And you go down, you're already down 2-0. Now you go down 3-0 going into the intermission. You're looking around the room going, oh my God, what just happened out there? And the other team is feeling hot. They have a 3-goal lead now. It's their opening night. They're playing at home. Like, they are loving this. That can never happen. We can't allow that to happen again. Back to Peter Mrazek, though, that second period, he did play very well in the second period. Like, he had the 3 goals against in the first, but the only reason this team even had a chance to make it 3-2 in the third period is because of the way he played in the second. So I hope he's not too injured. I hope this is something where it's just a tweak. Maybe he needs a little bit of time, a week off. Campbell get the game on Saturday. Give Mrazek 3, 4, 5 maybe days if it's really necessary. If we have to see Michael Hutchison in net, so be it. There's no way around it. That's the way it is. But hopefully Mrazek isn't too injured and we see him back in the net soon, because I think this is just a tough start for him. The team played like crap in front of him, and it's hard to get up as a goaltender when the team is playing that terribly in front of you and you're just getting peppered with shots right away, right from the hop. I know the Leafs balanced it out and ended up taking the lead in shots in that first period and then into the second, but to start with the Ottawa Senators coming at you 8-2 on shots on goal, it's tough. It's really tough as the goaltender to just get peppered right away like that. New team, first game with this team, like it's not a good situation. But before we get into more Leafs analysis, I do want to remind you before we get too far into this video, Josh and I are on the road to 1,000 subscribers at this point. So if you have not subscribed to this channel and you're watching this video right now, make sure you go hit that subscribe button. If you don't like stopping a video midway, if you can't find the subscribe button right now, if you can't see the little attached link that I'm putting in the corner of this video somewhere, I don't know, up here, wherever it is, click that subscribe button. I'm just going to point to both corners because you got to hit that subscribe button. Help Josh and I get to 1,000 subscribers. It is the most important thing you guys can do right now. The road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to get Ben to make us another sick animation once we get to 1,000, and we are pushing to 2,000 subscribers because I'm sure you guys are loving the sight of Auston Matthews' face ripping across the screen right now in this Lamborghini just through downtown Toronto on this road to 1,000 subscribers. So help us out, help us get to 1,000. We appreciate every subscriber. Back to the breakdown here. I want to get into one of our segments, the power play of the game, the Poppy power play of the game. And I just want to say right now to anyone who's watching, I'm going to butcher that 95% of the time that I say it. I know, and people have gotten on me in the comments that I say Poppy, like the thing you put on your chest on Remembrance Day, and we are around the corner from that. So if you're getting ready, get your poppies ready, whatever they get out there and grab your poppies. But I know I'm going to say it every time. I say it and then I'm going to correct it after. So it's Poppy. Is that how people want me to say it? However you want me to say it. Type the enunciation in the comments right now. Let me know the way you think it should be said, because I got to figure this out, because I go back and forth between the two. Enough yammering on about that. My power play of the day, not even going to bother with the first word of it right now until I see these comments. Let me know what to do. Jason Spezza's shot on that power play goal, it was disgusting. Jason Spezza is a guy who has become a fan favorite player here in Toronto. He's a guy that we all get on our feet for, we all root for, and we all start to celebrate and cheer around because we want this guy to have success here. He seems like a great person on the ice, off the ice. Like, he is a great person around the community. Even in these COVID years where we've been in lockdown and stuff, like, we've seen this guy taking steps in this community to continue to build relationships. And then you go on the ice and he's just like this guy who's been around the league for a long time. He seems like he just loves the game. He's having lots of fun, and he has been performing very well for this Toronto Maple Leafs team in his time here. So it's hard not to root for that guy. Like, you watch him out there and it's just like, I want this guy to have success. So when he goes out on that power play and he scores a goal like that, it automatically just makes you feel better. It feels like this team is going to rally around him and rally around that play a little bit more. Like, remember in that Columbus series when he fought? He literally was fighting to keep that season alive. And this is just the type of energy, character that I feel like he brings to this team, that this team has needed night-to-night basis. Like, he's not going to be the guy, put the team on my back, go out there and score a goal as needed. But he's the guy who could just get that weird, timely goal to just get the boys going, get the guys in the good mood, and get them rolling. So that power play goal, not only was it just disgusting, but it was from a great player, a guy that we all root for here. So Jason Spezza gets my Poppy power play of the day. So shout out Jason Spezza for that one. On the topic of the power play here, this power play sucks at zone entrance. Sucks. There is no way around it. It's even creeping into the 5-on-5 zone entry. How many times can you watch this team try to break into a zone and do some dumb little drop pass in the neutral zone, no look, behind the back, bank it off the boards, and it's like, yeah, mix that into the zone entry every now and then. But for it to be the play every single time, my God, guys, hello? The other teams are just as capable of watching film. And when you've done it for 5 straight years, they're going to know exactly what's coming as every time you go into the offensive zone. You're going through the neutral zone. Oh my God, Mitch Marner's skating the puck up. I wonder what he's going to do. Probably drop it to the guy skating right behind him every single time he comes through that neutral zone. Let's just mix up this zone entry every now and then, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not working. We are struggling to gain zones. The only thing I can say about this power play that was good was that once we get in there, once we take offensive zone draws, because that seems to be the only way we can get in there, we win them. This puck possession, the puck movement, and the chances that get generated are ridiculous. Last year we saw it in a power play where we were like, wow, this power play is incredible, tailed off towards the end. Part of that problem, I think, was that we saw the same look every time. Matthews and Marner swoop out at the blue line, drive in at the same time. You're looking for backdoors, you're looking for Matthews' shot. That's all they had. When you see this team with Marner in the bumper position and then him and Tavares cycling in and out, Nylander, Riley, and Spezza, as it was tonight, being very active along the boards, moving in and out, and almost being, I would say it was being on a string. As Nylander moved down the wall, Riley came across towards him, and Spezza pulled up high on the other side. And then as that rotation happened the other way, they would all start to follow each other. And it would allow Marner and Tavares to make more movements inside that slot area that opened plenty of things up. It generated a whole lot more chances, and although we didn't get to see a lot of shots on those power plays, it looked much, much more lethal than I think it did even last year. So once Auston Matthews gets back in that shooting position, I'm excited to see what this power play can do. But the caveat on that is, get in the zone. That's the first thing that you have to do for this power play to have any chance at success. Enter the zone. There's no other way to say it. Guys, we need to figure out this zone entry. It's just beyond the point of like, what is wrong here with this power play? It's the zone entry. How can we get in the zone? Because the power play can't even run if we can't get the puck in the zone. That's problem number 1. Let's figure that one out first. Once we're in the zone and we can't score after that, if that's still the case, then we'll worry about the power play from there. Maybe it's personnel, maybe it's the way the system is being run, who knows? But we can't even make that determination until the puck crosses the offensive blue line. Now, one guy that I want to talk about who actually turned things around and actually got those power plays going, Michael Bunting. Michael Bunting grabbed his first assist as a Toronto Maple Leaf in last night's game. It was a little bit of a sneaky one. It kind of just hit off his skate, ends up on Engvall's stick. He buries it on that power play. But tonight, Michael Bunting, just as Josh said in last night's post-game reaction, this guy, little bit of a weasel, and I love what I see from him. He's a guy who just gets gritty. He seems to battle all the time. He brings a lot of intensity. He's got good skill, good hockey IQ, and he is not afraid of anybody. I love seeing Michael Bunting out on the ice, and it's good to see him drawing penalties too, because I think one thing is we've missed a guy who could draw penalties since Nazem Kadri left. The problem with Nazem Kadri is that he would often turn around and sucker punch a guy in the mouth right after. They're both going to the box, and that penalty is negated, or is smashing someone from behind, whatever it is. Michael Bunting, this guy is getting knocked over, ragdolled at center ice, and just gets up and goes to the box, because in his mind, he knows, I'm not getting back at you by turning and suckering you in the mouth right now. I'm getting back at you because the power play with William Nylander, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, and Auston Matthews, obviously not in the lineup right now, but when he will be, is going to be coming on the ice after me. And if I take away an opportunity for those guys to be on the ice all at the same time, I am the idiot here. He's well aware of that, and you can tell. So this is a guy who just gets up, skate away, let the team have the last laugh once we put the puck home on the power play there, which I think will happen a lot more once 2 things happen. A, we get actually into the zone, and B, Auston Matthews returns to this power play. But I do love what I see from Michael Bunting. Now, the final thing that I want to touch on from this game here tonight, William Nylander. I know this whole team started slow and he's a little bit missing in the first period, but once things got going again, there was even small plays that he makes throughout that first and second period where you just look and you're like, oh my God, this is not plays this guy would have made before. Battling in corners, protecting pucks, winning battles, reading plays, lifting sticks, and out-muscling guys. This is not a William Nylander that we've seen over the past 4 or 5 years that he's been here in North America or on this Toronto Maple Leafs team. This does come across as a new player, a guy who has changed his game, elevated his game, and is becoming a better all-around player. I'm going to seem like the biggest William Nylander fan from these episodes that we've done, but right now, I feel like it's completely justified. In the past, I'm going to be completely honest, I've been down on Nylander. I haven't thought he's the best all-around player, and he could go completely missing on offense at times. And when he's not bringing offense, what the hell is he bringing? Pretty much nothing. But now the fact that even when he's not scoring, he's making good plays, he's doing the right things out there, and then back-to-back games with goals, like, I feel pretty confident in that William Nylander 40-goal prediction at this current point in time. A little early on again in the season to be saying, yeah, that's going to happen. But I do feel pretty good about that possibility, and I love what he's bringing all around. Final thing about the game in general, not about players on the ice. The officiating tonight, the NHL needs to figure out this officiating. I get the whole cross-checking thing where you're trying to call it a little extreme because you want the cross-checks to reel back. For sure. I get it. And I believe me, I am not sitting here saying that the officiating is the reason the Leafs lost this game tonight. It's not. The reason the Leafs lost this game tonight is because of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs beat themselves. That's what happened here tonight. That first period, that's all on them. That is the Toronto Maple Leafs being the Toronto Maple Leafs and losing themselves a hockey game before we've even gotten 20 minutes through a game. Like, that's just straight up what it is. But side note to that is just this officiating will look terrible. There's two specific plays that jump out to me. Sens fans, feel free to get on me for being like, oh, Homer, whatever. I get it. I know that there was plays the other way that shouldn't have been called, and there was ones that should have been called that were missed on you guys. I completely agree. As the Leafs Digest channel here, I'm just going to hop on these two specific plays. The Engvall hooking penalty when he's chasing down Connor Brown, that's beyond me in terms of a hook. I honestly, like, when you get your stick wrapped up 100%, even if you're not lifting the guy's stick, if your stick's held in there, 100% hook. That right there was not a hook. You lift the guy's stick. You have the right to lift the guy's stick. He didn't even pull back. He just little uplift of the stick when the pass came across, and next thing you know, this is a hooking penalty. Like, garbage. Same thing again on that Tavares play later in the third period when the Leafs are pushing to get a goal. And I understand it's poor timing, as Leafs fans are sitting here like, what kind of call is that? And it's a little bit more infuriating. And again, Sens fans, I get it. It is a little bit of a homer thing to sit here and say. But I'm sure you can agree, if that penalty is called against you, you're probably pretty upset as well, because that is not a penalty in any league. I don't care what this is. I don't care what league, what level, it's nowhere is that a penalty. That is not a hooking penalty. That needs to be figured out, because that is just a ridiculous call. Officiating in the NHL, need to step up your game a little bit. We have seen a trail off in the past few years where we've just seen some terrible refereeing, some terrible calls being made. It just needs to step up. This is pretty early on in the season to be seeing some blatant bad calls. Even again in like the Seattle-Vegas game the other day with that kicking, that's so borderline of, is it a kick? Is it not a kick? That needs to be defined right away. This needs to be sorted out. Officiating across the league, step it up, NHL, because you as a whole need to be better. You need to be more consistent. Now, final thing before we end this one off, I do want to give my grades of the game. For my Mike Babcock old school grades of the game, I brought him up earlier in this episode when I'm talking about start on time. But my Babcock old school grade of the game, getting harsh, getting on the players here, I'm giving this one a C+. Second game of the season, and you come out slow, you miss the puck drop. Like, I know that they were physically there, but mentally, were they really there? Missing that puck drop again tonight, forgetting what time this game started at, and you find yourself in a 3-0 hole right away. Last night we were fortunate enough to skate away with a 1-0 hole after the first period, but 3-0 deficit just out of the first period in an opposing team's barn on their home opener. Hello? This cannot be happening. We cannot allow that to happen going forward. We need to wake up to start these games. I don't care what it is. Pump the smelling salts. Fire it through fans on the bench. Get the boys drinking Red Bulls. Whatever you got to do. Coffee's on the bench. I don't care. Wake up to start the game. That is unacceptable way to start a game. Unacceptable way to start an NHL regular season game. That is just beyond me. That right there just puts this down so many notches on the scale of on this grading scale here of the Babcock old school grades, like so far down on this list. The fact that I even got it up to a C+ is going to come off of we outshot the Ottawa Senators tonight 48-36. First of all, Jack Campbell comes in and goes 10 for 10 on saves. He comes in off the bench cold and plays stellar. Peter Mrazek gave us a shot in that second period, so I'm pretty happy with what we saw from Mrazek in their second there. He did look pretty confident once he got settled in, and once that atrocious first period got out of the way, he seemed to put it behind him and play pretty well. Unfortunately, he gets injured. We'll see how that plays out. Spezza goal, disgusting. Nylander, I'm really happy to see this guy continuing to score. He looks confident. He looks like he's creating chances. Just brings that overall feel of the game on grade up a little bit. The fact that this team fought back and made it 3-2 and actually made a push to the end to actually get a chance at it, I love the effort until the end, and the fact that Forsberg made 46 saves. Like, some nights it's just hard to be like, okay, yeah, this guy made 46 saves. I mean, yeah, some of them don't shoot it at him or get better chances or put a better, I don't know, but 46 saves, hats off to Forsberg on that one. That's a good performance by him. But overall, not very happy with this Leafs team out of this performance. There's a few guys here and there that upped the level, bringing it to the C+, not bringing it right down to the C. I am only leaving it at a C+ because I know we're going to see worse games later on, and I can't just throw like an F right now and just watch another terrible game happen later on and sit here and go, what do I do? I've already failed them. So got to keep that grading scale consistent. You know, it's like when you're in school and your teacher gives you 99%, you ask why not 100? Well, there's always something you can improve on. There's always something they could get worse at. I don't think this is probably the worst that we've seen this Leafs team, and we will see them play this year. So, I mean, Leafs fans, hold out hope for better games, but I mean, full 82-game season, we're going to see some terrible games along the way here. Leafs fans, thank you guys for following along. Hopefully you guys can sleep okay tonight after this terrible loss to the Ottawa Senators. 3-2 to them. We open it on such a high note, beating the Montreal Canadiens at home. Got goals from key guys in this lineup. Things were looking positive. Jack Campbell for Vezina. Like, this is just all around. We were feeling so good, and we come in here tonight and we just crap the bed to start this game and have to claw back the whole time, looking even still brutal in the second period. Only for Peter Mrazek did we even make it to the third period. Might have had to just call a mercy rule, wave the white flag at that point in time. But make it through. We only lose this one 3-2. We fought right to the end, so it's kind of nice to see at least there's some battle there. We didn't give up. But, hey, we'll be back Saturday, October 16th at 7 p.m. The Leafs take on the Ottawa Senators in Game 3 of the regular season. Maybe we get to see Austin Matthews. Jack Campbell likely getting another start. Maybe it's a path to the Vezina candidacy for Jack Campbell this year. You never know. But Leafs fans, let's not get too down on ourselves. It's only the second game of the season. We got 80 more to go this year. It's not a shortened season, a full season. We got 80 more games left. We are 1-1, a win against the Habs, a loss against the Sens. We'll see you guys at some point before the next game. I'm certain of it. Josh and I will be back with another video. But until then, we know for sure we will see you guys Saturday, October 16th, after the game against the Ottawa Senators. Let's not get too down on ourselves. Leafs fans, keep believing. We'll see you guys then.